How is everyone? Waiting for people to join. Hey, Paulos. How are you? Good. I'm glad that my sound and video are good. I am at my parents' house again. Just came to visit. They keep an art studio stocked with all of the stuff that various people bought and left behind. So my mom's bought some art supplies over the years, and then there's some of my old stuff, a lot of my younger siblings' old stuff. And so they've set up an art studio here that's full of stuff. My mom, last time I was here, was encouraging me to go and explore and try some new art materials, and I didn't do it that time, but this time I pulled out some interesting stuff. So I've got Aqua Board and Scratchboard, which are drawing surfaces, like painting. So I can paint directly on this. They're like a panel that's primed with clay-based absorbent ground. Scratchboard comes in black, and Aquaboard is white, and has like a fairly absorbent finish. I'm not sure how absorbent the Scratchboard is. I believe you can use pencils as well as watercolor on either of these, and also scratch up the surface to bring back the white. There's also what appears to be an unopened box of Graphitint. So that's neat. A big box of Inktense pencils, also unopened. So it's all neat. I have some, I think these were originally clay tools, but they could work for the Scratchboard. Or Scratchboards for scratching. Yeah, so you can like scratch away the black, and underneath I guess is just the white, like the clay-based finish, so you can scratch away and get more of the white, or you can apply other colors to it. So I guess this would be more useful probably with the colored pencils, I would guess. I also have my own watercolors, but then while I was there, I asked my sibling about, like, you know, if I'm going to be using art materials from here. I did bring my own, but I could also just use only these art materials, so I did get my hands on this package of watercolor brushes that were here, and my younger sibling's old watercolor set, and you can see how we are different, very, very different people. And for those watching, let me know whether this drives you as crazy as it drives me. Wait, let me figure out how to open this set. Aha! Look at these paints, and how there are unopened. The younger sibling went and used paints and just like didn't open paints, didn't try the paints first, just opened a few of them. Bonkers. They've had this for like a decade. Yeah, so these are the the Richardson Yarka St. Petersburg. So I think Richardson has had a deal to import or market the what are they called? White Knights. I feel offended, right? Not swatching all the the colors, I mean, like, I feel like I'm just gonna end up just swatching these just 'cause. They're also not labeled, so I don't, like, some of them have the packaging underneath and some of them don't, and some of them have the packaging, like, ah! And the way they're put under, like, what are you? What are you? There's like a piece of packaging here, but it doesn't have the pigment information, or the name of the color, so it's not really, doesn't have any of the information on it. It's crazy making. But I think that's my plan for today, is I'm gonna use the colors here. I've locked Umber upstairs, and she's very upset. I've put her in the bedroom because she was being a cranky toddler. Okay, no, this is my younger sibling who got these when they went into university. So around the same time that I started using watercolors, this is not, the pigment information is available. This is me flaming family members. Like, the pigment information was always there. It's just the person this originally belonged to didn't bother writing it down on the package or saving the parts of the package that mention it, cut out the pigment information. Yes, exactly. And didn't write it down. So some of them have the name of the color and the pigment information underneath the pan, and some of them do not. Some of them have just a package that doesn't even match, like this one. Some of them it's cut out. Some of them, like, there's some crazy stuff here. Things that don't make sense. Things that don't make sense. So this is a partway opened cobalt blue. There's some, yeah. I can't figure out what's going on. Yeah, yes. So I'm not sure where this belongs, because it sure isn't this, which is definitely a blue. Things have been rearranged, but not in a way that makes sense to me. There's some serious confusion here. So, yeah. Heads will roll on Christmas when you bring this up during Christmas meal. I mean, I think we might be the only two people who care. Like, the rest of the family doesn't really do watercolor, so. But I don't get it. I don't get it. How can you not try the different paint? Anyway, I feel like there's something missing or has been replaced here. Because there's this, and I can't figure out what it belongs to, because it's not this one. Oh, maybe because this one only had a section of it. That looks like a different color, though. I'm so confused. Oh, that's that. Except that doesn't look like yellow ochre now, does it? That looks like yellow ochre, maybe? That could be red ochre. Where is burnt umber? That could be English red. What are you? I am so confused. Mars brown. This one doesn't have a label. This one doesn't have a label. This one doesn't have a label. This one could be here, and this one could be here, and maybe this one belongs here, and this one could get matched to this Russian blue. Is this a burnt umber, maybe? Does that look like a burnt umber? No, that looks like something red. Okay, so maybe this is Carmine. Yes. Maybe this is Carmine. This is a puzzle. This is a puzzle, and I'm not sure. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I am out of frame. Okay, I'm trying to puzzle out where all this belongs, so that then I can label these, or, you know, otherwise. Okay. This is the very fascinating thing I'm going to start this video with. Okay, I am going to put this back in its original location and this one back in its original location. I'm going to move this away from here. This is labeled yellow ochre, but is not yellow. This was labeled yellow ochre like this, but this isn't a yellow ochre. So I'm going to put that there. I'm pretty sure this matches to here. I don't know which one is supposed to be burnt umber, but I'm sure that it's not the one that was labeled burnt umber. I'm gonna move Carmine back to, that's the other thing, is that these have been, clearly have been rearranged. Put Carmine here. Okay. I am going to use my sketchbook, I think. Or should I go... Okay, I'm going to go rescue my cranky dog. And then fetch some paper from the studio. And untangle these colors. And then mark them. Then maybe experiment with some other materials. And I was thinking I might do a special, like a Patreon stream, because I didn't do one last month. Then I might do an extra one this month. Ooh, and I have labels here. How handy, so I can label these pans. Oh, yes. That's my plan. Okay. So some of these are complete wrappers and some of them are incomplete wrappers on the bottom here. So hopefully more are complete than incomplete, but I'm going to have some that just don't have any kind of information. Like this doesn't really seem to have, oh no, here it is. It's PY35, so it's a cadmium something. Whatever, we're going to figure this out. That's my plan for today. First, I'm going to sort this out, but I'm going to go find some watercolor paper for that. All right. Hi. Hello, hello, hello. And I am back with water and paper so that I can watch these things. So, what do I have? I have Canson Monval and Fabriano Studio. I think I'm going to use the Studio Hot Press. It is 25% cotton, so it is not 100% cotton, but that's what I have here. So that's what we're going to use. Yes. Hi. Okay. Swatch these. Nope, I'm not going to use my brushes. I'm going to use... How's Umber? Oh, and the Fabriano is hot press. It is hot press, yes. Here, I will show these dogs. Show dogs. Oh, here's dog one. And, sorry, the other dog's already gone.
Show out the backyard if you want.
Okay,
The plan is just not to let them in again.
Okay, sorry. We'll rotate device. Are you upside down now? No, there we go. Here we go. Dogs, plural, yes. Yes. So my parents have a golden retriever. Llewellyn, which means, I think, golden in Elvish. I didn't name this dog. And then my dog. And they're playing out in the backyard. So my parents have a enclosed backyard, so we can just let the dogs out. And they are doing dog things now. And Umber has not been napping properly because there's another dog, which is much more exciting than naps, obviously. So, yeah. And we are going to rotate you back to my little station here. Oh, right, okay. Well, we're going to find a way to sit this. We are... Okay. Right. I'm going to get a little bit more jostling as I rearrange this improvised stand that I'm using. Like so. Nope. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Go back in there. Okay. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. That looks sort of like, yeah. Pull these out of the way. Pull these out of the way. Pull this out of the way. And I'm going to be using these brushes today. Yeah. So, first things first. So this one. I'm going to use package information wherever we have package information available. And I mean, to be fair, I don't always label my own pans because I know what I put in my palettes. So I used to be pretty obsessive about labeling my pans, but now I know what the colors are when I'm making up a new new palette. It's not always labeled, but I do always try everything. And I always have some sense of what's there and what order. This drives me a little bonkers. Okay, so this is PY35 and it is called something. We'll find it. Cadmium Lemon. And we're gonna label this. Some of these labels I pulled out. Aha, yeah, I'm gonna use these. I have to label everything because I'm getting older. My memory is not what it used to be. Well, to be honest, like I'm not always sure exactly what version of something is in a specific palette, right? So like I won't know what packet, because I do mixed. I'll do mixed brands in my palettes. I don't necessarily know what any given palette is. I want to see Ember. Ember is in the backyard. Ember may show up later, but also, Lauren, you can just come here. Sorry. I will, in fact, put these packages back where I have them available from under here. An extra layer of knowing what is going on with these things. Okay, cadmium yellow medium. Can go in here. Where did my brush go? Okay. Oh, you wanted to see Ember? Ember is here now. Wait one moment. I will get you Ember.
I wouldn't leave him.
Oh, that's not Ember.
Yeah, I wouldn't. No, too late now.
Hi, Ember.
He's okay sitting outside.
Well, next time she decides that she lives outside, we'll just let her up. Okay, here we have, this one is also PY35, I think. Oh, yuck. Okay, PY35. And cad yellow medium that I just opened. Okay, so honesty time. Does anyone here use their watercolors and not test them out first? I promise I will only flame you a little bit. Not test them out, not label them, not care what's what. I want to know if I'm in the in the minority or not who is driven crazy by this. Here. We have another yellow of some kind. Is this labeled? Raw Sienna. Okay. Okay. So that's gonna be, there's a yellow ochre. There's a raw sienna. I'm gonna put them elsewhere. I'm gonna assume that this is some kind of, right. I'm gonna end up rearranging these things, pretty sure. So here we have some kind of mystery orange. So this one doesn't have any kind of label. Unless it's under some other pan. So for now, this is just a mystery, but it's obviously an orange. And I'm just going to put it here. We're going to put a big question mark here. I'm still in shock with that. I mean, I'm sure that there's like, I'm sure that there are some people. So I'm wondering whether this is just like a pigment nerd thing or whether most people feel compelled to try everything and label everything first when they start when they open a new palette. Like I can't imagine, even with my colored pencils, like I have to try everything. Okay. This one is called Golden Ochre. We'll see what that looks like. And I think that I might want to swap these. Yeah, I think I want to swap these two. Because this is like more of a, I couldn't really tell from the package. From the package, it looked more darker color, but I think I'm gonna have to swap these. And then this one is going to get labeled. So I'm gonna, on my sheet here, right, so this is St. Petersburg. So Yarka St. Petersburg, which is I think just another marketing, like a differently marketed form of white nights is my understanding. Like it's white nights for the North American market. They had a deal with Richardson, so Richardson was selling these. What is the Winsor & Newton Gold Ochre? I believe that's a like much more of an earthy color, right? Like this one's like a real like tangerine color. Which you can also tell by the pigments in it. Like it's PY3 and PO13. So yeah. There's ochre in the name, but it's not really an ochre sort of color in my estimation. I'm gonna feel so satisfied having rearranged these. Except I'm probably gonna still have some frustration because I suspect that there'll still be one or two missing that I don't know what it is. Is this the set from the old times of USSR? No. So this one is sold by Jack Richardson. You can see some of the packaging because I have my younger sibling didn't unwrap all of the pans. So this is sold by Jack Richardson. So it is the sorry, I didn't put this label back on under it. It was, I think, originally sold, it was Yarka, the company that makes White Knights had a deal with Jack Richardson, which is a Richardson also makes or also sells the casein paints and a few other things. And so they had a deal to market White Knights in North America for a while. I'm not sure if that's still the case. So this set is, I believe, about, I'm gonna say 10 years old. Maybe less. Might be less, more like 8. Okay. Then we have this, which I think this is one of the ones where there's a label, but it's not complete. So there's no pigment information here. So again, I'm going to scooch this over. I'm trying to make this as like follow some kind of chromatic order, but not all of them have labels. So for context, for those who missed it, I'm at my parents' house right now. And my parents have set up, since they are now empty nesters. I'm one of 5 children. And they've set up in what used to be my old bedroom an art studio of sorts that's got all of the various art supplies that my mom purchased and that are, you know, left over, that were left behind by myself and my siblings. And so again, this one's a great big question mark. We don't have any pigment information for this one. And so my mom encouraged me to go explore and try some of the art supplies there. I've got a whole bunch of interesting things to try. So I'll do that today and possibly do another stream on Sunday. Like a Patreon special stream, but I might open it up further and make it public. Not sure. We'll see. I have this Aqua Board, which is like a watercolor surface that's got an absorbent clay-based ground on it, so you can scratch it away after you work in watercolor on it, which is really cool. And then also Scratchboard, which is the same, but got a black finish on it. It's more useful, I think, for colored pencil type work. The other interesting things that I have in here with me today, I have 2 unopened packages, and I think my mom just bought these out of curiosity: ink tints and graphitint. So I might experiment with those as well. But for right now, I'm just sorting out this package of paints and swatching. I bought my first White Knight set, Leningrad set, from Novskaya Palitra approximately 15 years ago. Is there a Newton Gold Ochre is PY43? Yes, I think I have tried it. It's like, it's a really gorgeous, it's like, it's got that sort of like richness of a quinacridone gold, but it's a little bit more like a more body to it, right? Yeah, so this is not a USSR set. Like, I think it is it's probably a repackaging of a USSR set, but it's sold for the North American market. And so I'm not really sure. The other thing is this was purchased, I think, at a brick and mortar store in Canada. So it was purchased, I think, about 8 or 9 years ago. But it's possible that it had been sitting on a shelf for a really long time as well. Because some of these stores do have stuff, I mean, still sitting on shelves that's been discontinued for decades, right? Okay, so here we have some kind of red. This one's actually really gorgeous. Really like this one. It's like a pink. I'm assuming this is like a rose color. Yes. Scarlet. Okay, Scarlet, PR2 and PR4. I think that this is probably rose. And this is probably scarlet. I'm going to guess PR2 and PR4. So I'm going to move the labels over. That's fine. And in fact, I might say that this unlabeled thing is more likely to belong to here. There's so many mysteries here. So many mysteries. I'm going to say that's this scarlet. So I'm going to label this scarlet. I am going to put a question mark beside it because I'm not sure of that. I can't really tell from the video, but the second orange should be PO. Yeah, the PO20 or PO36. Yes, I suspect it's PO20, but I'm not totally certain. I don't have any packaging for it, and it was never labeled prior to me trying it out just now. So I'm just leaving it as a question mark for now. This is a really pretty, like, I think this is a Quinn Rose of some kind. I know that they're labeled differently in this line. I'm gonna wait because I might find a bit of packaging down the line somewhere. Some of these were obviously rearranged at some point. And so we're gonna call this Scarlet. And then this one is that kind of Quentin Rose thing. I'm not going to label it because I can look up what it's called at some later point, but it's going to be like a PV19, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm pretty sure if I go look this up, this will be PV19. I'm going to put some question marks, but I would assume that's like a PV19 that's in there, whatever it's called in this line. And I'm going to fold up this bit of packaging. Not sure Winsor Newton or White Knights had PV19 back then. I'm pretty sure they did, because I'm pretty sure I purchased some around the same time. But it's possible that it is something else. Like, again, it's possible that this had been sitting on a shelf, but I'm pretty sure that my younger sibling and I started watercolor painting around the same time. And it was one of actually the first things that I purchased around the same time. So certainly it was available in their new line around the same period of time, but it might have been introduced later. And I don't think it was called Rose. It was called something else. No. Many questions. Great many questions. Okay. Then I've got this, which I've matched to this sticky thing. And called Carmine. And that is indeed a Carmine. Again, I might swap these over just to keep my spectrum order. PR 187 or PR 170, I guess. I'd guess. For the Carmine? Yeah, the Carmine is labeled. It was separated from its label, but the label exists. So I'm assuming that this is PR 170. By the way, thank you, Miriam, for chipping in here. You've obviously got a lot more knowledge of this line than I do. Yeah, so this is PR 170. So both this pan with its little bits of flotsam in it and the bit of packaging were in this package when I found it. Just not in the same place, like they weren't together. Okay, I'm gonna try to figure out a spectrum order and then put the more earthy colors at the end is my plan. So I'm also going to trade these over. So this one is going to go in here, this one and the scrap of packaging. I'm going to, again, put a label on the side of the pan. Unfortunately, these labels aren't sticking particularly well, but yeah. Okay, so next, I bet there's some kind of purpley color, some sort of violet. I'm going to try to rearrange that. Are you some kind of violet? Yeah, okay. So, I wonder if there's, what's this? Oh. What's this one? Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that there's not another. Yeah, no, those are all other things. Okay, so this is going to be my whatever this is. Burnt sienna. That claims to be burnt sienna. I'm not sure. I'm sold on that. Okay. So next, what do I have? Next I have this violet that isn't labeled, but I imagine this is, well, to be honest, okay, this is another one of those in a normal modern line, including in the modern White Knights line. I believe this would be PV 23, but I think in this older version, this is probably not PV 23, is it? It's like PV 1 or something, right? Is it PD23? Is it PD1? It's something. I don't have a package for it. This is labeled English Red. I'm going to move this English Red thing away from here so that I can continue my spectrum order. I'll get back to it in a bit. Is there famous PV3? Oh, okay, so it is PV3. Perfect. PV3. Yes, great. I will label that. So, and what's it? Do you know what the name was in English? People are still waiting for. I thought that they had introduced it. They haven't? Okay, PV3. And is it just called violet or purple? You can violet. Okay. I could, but I'm streaming right now, so I can't. Somebody else can check Jane Blundell. Okay, then I'm gonna get a bunch of blues. I have a floating ultramarine. I'm assuming that there's an Indian throne or something as well floating around, so I'm gonna do some testing here. Oh, that one was labeled Prussian. Let's see about that. And what is this? Okay, sorry. I've got to do some testing at the bottom of my page as well. I'll show what I'm doing here just to get some sense of what I'm picking up. Whoa. No, that's something else. I'm making some really cool colors by contaminating my brush. I really like this. This is like some kind of sepia, I'm guessing. It's really pretty. Okay. And it does some really fascinating things mixed with that PP3, so. Okay. What about this? Am I going to find some Indian throne or something of that? Oh, I'm still testing the same thing over and over. It just seems to be a twin of my old set. My brain keeps not useful information. Yeah, I bet it probably is a twin of your old set. It's just, it was like it would have been just sold to the North American market. And you're probably right that there's also probably a delay on, you know, Nevskaya Palitra might have released things to the White Knight sets, and then it might have been a delay on them ever making it to, yeah, okay. All right. So that's, I'm assuming that this that I'm holding here, I am going to find is an ultramarine. Yep. That looks like ultramarine to me, or blue. They have something that's just called blue. Where's the ultramarine then? Is this ultramarine? Because they also have something, they also have a cobalt? I'm so confused. Nope. I keep on dipping into the same. What about this one? That looks like black. Cobalt should be really weak. Is this really weak? Nope, that's Prussian. That is Prussian. Is this really weak? I bet this is cobalt. I bet this is, yeah. Yeah, so that's going to be the cobalt. I have a floating scrap of label that says it's ultramarine. So I'm assuming that somewhere in here I have an ultramarine. This one's very strong, and I assume it's the what they called blue. Right, sorry. I'm so confused. Okay. I'm going to leave a space for the ultramarine. I'm going to say that next comes cobalt or blue. What blue is. Says it's burnt umber. Fine. That has a green label. Oh, here we have Russian blue, not Prussian blue. And sorry, what is this? This is, oh, okay. All right, they are calling it Russian blue. It appears to just be, sorry, I am contaminating my own samples here. I'm gonna have to wash out my jar. I'm using a much smaller jar than usual. It's PB15. So that means that, sort this out. One of these is a cobalt, one of them is an ultramarine. So this would be something. And this one, yeah, so that would be the ultramarine, and this would be cobalt, I'm guessing. Yeah. Okay, so the stronger one here on this side is going to be the ultramarine. Put that down, label that, and then the next one is cobalt. That makes sense. We're getting somewhere. PB29. Label that, and I'm going to swatch it. Okay. So I'm going to pull this back so that we can see all these colors again. And then swatch here. Swatchy, swatchy. It's a really nice ultramarine. I do approve of this ultramarine. That's a good ultramarine. Okay. Okay, next we would have this, which is the cobalt. We'll move cobalt over. Doop, doop, doop. What would PB15:6 mean? A mix of PB15 and 6, or what does that stand for? It's a variety of PB15. So it's PB15 is copper phthalocyanine. Somebody correct me if I've got the metal wrong. And depending on the exact structure, you can have different shades of PB15. Some of them are a little bit more greenish, some of them are a little bit more bluish. So the most common would be PB15:3, which is your usual phthalo blue-green shade. Paulo can explain this much better than I can. I will let the chemist step in and stick to painting. So this is the cobalt, and it is a much weaker version of the ultramarine, but otherwise quite similar to the ultramarine. So that is PB28 cobalt blue. I'm getting crystallized in different forms, having slightly different colors. Perfect. Yes. Yeah, so the label just says PB15 for the Russian blue. Not Prussian blue, Russian blue. In this case. And I think that's the last of the blues I've got here. So I'm going to put that down. Okay, I'm going to swap over my jar of water. I will be right back. Chemist myself, which helps. Perfect. It's a different crystal structure, therefore different light polarization. Fascinating. Yeah, that is fascinating. Okay, I will be right back. Hello, little Umber. Hi, I'm back. Okay, so did I label the side of that? I did. Perfect. So now I'm gonna swatch. Go. Ooh, treats. Treats for dogs. Sorry, are you wanting to close? Okay, perfect. Treats for dogs. Okay, I'm gonna move this camera over for a moment. Puppy time. Hi, puppy. Hello, puppy. Are you a good puppy? Down. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Umber, paw. That's a good paw. Other paw? That's a very good other paw. Good girl. Who's my good girl? That's a good girl. Umber, touch. 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 You're a good girl. High five. Good girl. Umber, touch. Touch. High five. Good girl. And down. You're a sweet baby. Good, sweet baby. Okay. I am going to go back to painting. And Umber is going to go back to Umber's things. Good girl. You're a good girl. I love you. Good girl. Okay. There. Let me rearrange this this a little bit. Sorry, every time I pull this out. Set it back up. Yep. Okay. So, Russian blue. Blue. Russian. PB15 says this package. Label it. And then I'm going to drop it in. Cool. B15 blue Russian. I can spell. Okay, oh, and I'm gonna good girl. Are you a good girl? You're my good girl. Are you taking a nap? You're being a good girl. Look, here's a chew. Good girl. Good girl. Good settle. I don't have treats for you, otherwise I would give them to you. But I do not have them here. Okay. Next, there are some greens in here. Times several. I imagine that there's a phthalo green somewhere. Let's find it. It's not that, that's a black. Neutral tint of some kind. So this could be, aha. Okay, so I'm gonna pull out this ochre and put this down. Okay, this says PG8. It's not, which means that was there something hiding under here? No. Was there something hiding under this one? Let's rearrange these things. Okay. Okay, this one didn't have this. This is, I'm assuming, the label that used to belong to this phthalo green, PG7. But it's no longer there. So I'm gonna swatch it now. There's no sorry, pigment information on that scrap of label. But this has got to be PG7. It's a fairly gummy PG7. That's a little surprising. I'd expect PG7 to be a fairly strong pigment across brands. PG7, whatever we're gonna call this green, phthalo green. Somebody know what this is likely to be called in this line? Like, I know what it is. It's a phthalo green, but emerald green. Okay. Call that emerald green. PG7 emerald green. Okay, there's also a lighter green that's going to come up, as well as, oh, sorry, no, that's the wrong thing. which is a mixture. I think that might just be my lighting. It looks like a PG7. There's a mixture here that's a much lighter color, which is made with PG7 and PY3. Yeah. And then there's a PG8 as well. So I'm about to swatch the PG8, but I think that it's just sometimes cameras catch the PG7 as like more tealy than it looks in person. But that, like, in person, that's pretty clearly just a PG7. Right. So you're comparing her scans, which she does a great job of balancing, but you know, to my camera, which isn't balanced at all, and in fact is just my cell phone stuck on its stand. Like, I've shoved the stand into a sideways magazine rack on a built-in secretary desk in my parents' house. Like, there's nothing particularly great about my setup here. I'm just trying to get back into the habit of streaming as well as doing my other work. I've been a little bit behind. Just realized you were on. Yep. Well, that is completely reasonable, given that I've not been on as much as I really ought. Is that green PG8? It absolutely is. Russian. Okay, so PG8 Russian green. So for Stephen and anyone else who's come in recently, I am at my parents' house today. My parents have a art studio that they've set up that's got stuff that my mom bought, and it's basically my old bedroom, and they have set it up with all of the art supplies that I bought, or that I left behind, as well as art supplies that my siblings left behind, or anything that my mom bought over the years. So it's a very well equipped art studio that's equipped with random things. And one of the random things is this box of watercolors that used to belong to my younger sibling, who got them in university and has a very different approach to organizing their watercolors than I do, and just had them, some of them were unopened a decade later. A lot of labels were missing. Some of them had labels underneath them. Some of the labels were incorrect or were under the wrong thing. So I am sorting out this package. It's what it is. It's White Knights, but it's sold by Jack Richardson. So Jack Richardson had a contract at one point to sell to the North American market. So it's Jack Richardson's St. Petersburg watercolors, which are they are Nevskaya Palitra White Knights. And this here then is yellow green. So I'm just going to reorganize the set because, you know, it was bothering me. So this is called yellow green. It is PG7 and PG7 PY3. And then I've got a little label for it, putting labels on the sides of the pants, where I do have the original packaging for it. I'm trying to put the packaging underneath the pans, which just as an extra way of identifying them and keeping them in order. I think that that is likely it for the okay, so next we're going to do these. So this says it's raw sienna and this is yellow ochre. I'm gonna pull this aside and then sort out the earth colors and neutrals. So here's my spectrum order of colors so far. So there's still an orange that's a little bit unidentified. And we don't really know what that rose color is. Is it a PV19? Is it something else? It's there. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. Okay. And now it's so good. Pita pizzas on it with fresh rice and zero waste store. Ooh, I haven't been there in such a long while. Okay, so this is yellow ochre. Isn't that unknown green emerald green? Which unknown green? The original, the PG7? Yes. It's called, sorry, it's called emerald green. It is labeled emerald green on its label now. I had written down phthalo green on that sheet before I had gotten the answer back on what it's called in this line. I will write emerald green down. Okay, so this here is yellow ochre. I'm gonna take a moment to correct my sheet here. That's a big question mark. Okay, so this is yellow ochre. I'm going to put that right here. Then I'm going to put in, what paints are these? They are, okay, what you will know them as is their White Knights from about a decade ago. They are Jack Richardson St. Petersburg watercolors here because Jack Richardson had a contract to sell White Knights at some point to the North American market. So they belonged to my younger sibling who got them in university about a decade ago and didn't even unwrap all of them, used some of them for a while, and had them all mixed up in some kind of weird order and unlabeled, and it was driving me mad. So I'm at my parents' house. And I was picking around their art studio and found this set and took it upon myself to do the thing that nobody asked and rearrange this set. They look weird. In what way? Okay, so this here is raw sienna that had never been opened. There was a raw sienna pan that I just opened right now after nearly a decade. Raw sienna PY43. The pans remind me so much of Koh-i-Noor. Oh, that's interesting. The pans look very much like the pans I got from directly from White Nights. Like I ordered them from Jackson's around the same time or a few years later. They've got these like plasticky, like this, sorry, they're like a thicker plastic and somewhat clear, and they squished in. Interesting. What pans? Lana, you had used like much older White Nights, right? Like the Nevskaya Palitra, the very old versions, like older than this one. Correct? Am I remembering your little bit of background correctly? I used we're all in tubes. Oh, okay. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Yes. Yeah, so I had got pans like these around the same time, I think. From like through Jackson's. I think it was through Jackson's. Gosh, I can't even tell you for sure that it was through Jackson's. It wasn't sold to the North American market. I got them imported from somewhere. And well, this is where it gets weird. They looked very much similar to these. So these aren't, like, in terms of design, this isn't surprising me. But this would have been like early 2010s? Like 2010, 2012 or so. Okay. All right, so now I need to figure out how to organize the rest of these. I've got things like Mars Brown, burnt sienna, etc. I might do some juggling. So if I say that after raw sienna comes burnt sienna, is that reasonable to people? I say after raw sienna comes burnt sienna. Is this burnt sienna? This looks like a plausible burnt sienna, right? Or is it too brown? Do we have a different thing? We have so many. Okay, this I think is burnt umber. I think that is correctly, yeah. That's burnt umber. What's this one? This is unlabeled. That's helpful. Right, that's like some sort of sepia sort of thing, and that is some sort of other raw umber, maybe? Okay, great. I'm going to accept that as a, that says Mars Brown. Except this as burnt sienna. Okay. PBR 7. Okay. The old tubes have great quality as far as I can say. The Koh-i-Noor were weird. Some were very hard and not rewettable. Yellow ochre, for example. Some claim those to be old white knights too, but I don't know. Koh-i-Noor has the same pans in that you have in your set there. Yeah, so it's possible. Koh-i-Noor is based in Czech Republic? Am I making stuff up here? I might be making stuff up. Austria? Somewhere. And I know that different brands had like import agreements. So for example, this one says it's Yarka St. Petersburg by Jack Richardson, but what it is white knights. So it's possible that Koh-i-Noor was also one of these same agreements. I could totally believe that. They were popular around this time. I know my younger sibling got them because like they were popular with students because they were a lot cheaper than some of the they were a lot cheaper than some of the other professional brands that were available at the time locally. So it was a way to get things that were a whole lot better than say Cadmium for sort of Cadmium price locally. So they were very popular for that reason. Okay, this one I'm gonna assume is burnt umber. Darker. Surprisingly similar though. And also PBR 7, so that's burnt umber. Hi, buddy. What's wrong? What do you want? Does Umber want outside? Is that what you're staring at me about? Outside? Go on. No. No. You don't want outside? Okay. You're a cute little bug. Kisses. Kisses for the little bug. Should be both raw umber and sepia in the set. The umber is greener and lighter. Yes, I think Yes, I think I've got that figured out. The sepia is gorgeous. Miriam, are you in my I'm sorry. Do you want to go visit the other dog? Sorry, let me just go let this poor sad little animal out of the room. There's a poor sad little animal. In ink-based watercolors in Europe is very affordable. Okay, cool. All right, so next we're gonna do this, which is gonna be the, what is this? Okay, that is not sepia. This is the sepia. This is gonna be raw umber in here. Well, that's a really, I'm not a fan of this raw umber. I'm gonna be honest here. Ember, are you talking back? They're a sassy little puppy over there. Sorry, I'm gonna go interrupt some puppy training. Okay, so it's just down, and it's just a head motion. So this is up, and this is sit, and this is down. Amber, down. Good girl. Down. You don't need to do a long, drawn-out thing. I don't, and it's probably confusing her. There you go. Okay, perfect. That's it. I have pastels from Koh-i-Noor from the late 90s. They were known for drawing supplies back then. Yeah, so I have some Koh-i-Noor pastels, etc. Under the Koh-i-Noor Mondelez brand. Woof woof to Ember too. Yes, Ember's in the other room doing some training with mom and sibling. And they are, I don't know, she's being sassy. She's a sassy girl. Okay, and then I'm gonna put down the sepia, I guess. There, yeah, okay. Then there's sepia. Ember, off. Off, and also don't bark. Yes, off. Quietly off.
She's telling me things.
Yeah.
I went outside, it was exciting, but the main thing is she heard that Louie was getting ready to go outside with Dad, and she wanted to be in on the fun.
Of course. Sepia. Okay, so sepia. Do we have pigment information here? We do, sort of. Oh, I think I got it. Okay. It was just kind of hidden under the... So it's PY43, R187, and PBK7. Misha, look at this. I want you to take a look at this beautiful thing of great beauty, which is a watercolor set that makes sense. That isn't just a total disaster where colors are both unwrapped and labeled and oh, get this, they're in order.
You know why mine isn't like that?
Because you are a terrorist and not to be
Because I
trusted.
don't actually use watercolor.
But maybe you might use it more if it was usable.
Wait, how are you labeling these?
Labels.
Okay, but where?
The side of the pants.
But
Also, I'm making a chart. Right now, it's a messy chart on two
okay,
pieces of paper.
But have you established that these are in fact like actually pretty cool watercolors?
They are watercolors.
Because my impression when I first got them was, oh wow, these are watercolors that, how do I put this, aren't fucking washed out crap.
Well, I mean, compared to Cotman, they're a lot better. Compared to some of my watercolors, they're
They're fine.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got them, could tell that they were generally speaking like on the
I mean, yeah,
good quality end of watercolors.
absolutely.
But did not really pick up on how to use them in a way that mattered.
It is easier if you start by unwrapping.
Okay, but so what I was doing was I didn't want to open all of them at once and because I could tell that they were often significantly darker than they went on.
Sorry, what?
I could tell they were going to be trouble.
So you just opened random ones.
No, so I opened ones I needed at any given time for any given project.
But how could you tell which ones you needed if you clearly didn't know what was in the package?
They are labeled.
Yes, except that you had the labels on like entirely wrong things.
No, but they were labeled before I opened them.
Right, but given that you had then rearranged the labels to things that were not the same, then you clearly
Okay,
had no...
that was unintentional.
no
Are you still live streaming?
Absolutely.
To an audience of dad.
To an audience of 8 different people, none of whom are dad. Well, I'm not sure
no,
that none of them are...
definitely dad is on the list because I was upstairs and I thought you were working in dad's room until I came downstairs.
Gotcha.
So dad definitely had you playing
Gotcha.
in his
Well then.
office.
It's your sister? My younger sibling.
So
We are live streaming sibling harassment.
So my idea of a color range is this. That is my color range.
Which is why, of course, you unwrapped the black. And then never touched it.
Pretty much.
Okay, cool. Okay, that ochre. Okay. So then I'm gonna do these like much more opaque, earthy colors, like this one, which is red ochre. I think. Maybe maybe somebody can correct me. I've got English red and red ochre, and I'm guessing at which is which. So red ochre, PR102. I think I had these reversed. I was expecting this to be darker. It is not, it is lighter. So then this is, like if I, do we know which one's which? In this, there's English red and PR101 English red. English red is redder and more opaque. Okay, good. I'm glad I asked. So, so I originally swatched them backwards. I didn't stick anything on yet. So, red ochre is this one. And like these two are swapped. Detectives. Okay, then I've got Mars Brown. Oh, yuck. I don't like this one at all. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Okay, so to be clear, I think that English red is this one. The way I've labeled it. English red is this one. Red ochre is this one. This thing that I'm currently swatching, I've got as Mars Brown, and then the last thing that I have is so this is Mars Brown. Are you spying?
She was spying on you behind her.
Hi, buddy.
And she keeps dropping a tennis ball for you as well. Like right by the door.
Are you okay? I'm sorry, little Umber. I will come pay attention to you in just a moment. I'm almost done here. Almost done. Good girl. And then this last one, I guess, is black. Do we know what pigment is in the black? It's just PBK 6. Oh. Sorry, did she have to squat? I don't know how much that had. Oh, poor baby. Good girl. To be black, that is a mix with like a neutral tint, right? So I've only got a portion of the label and it doesn't have any name or pigment information. It's just a, yeah. There's like a neutral tint of some kind. Do we know what the pigments might be in here? It does look like a neutral tint of some kind, so I'm just gonna leave this as neutral tint question mark for now. I can do a little bit of a sweet little poor baby. Sorry, did she pee or poo? When you said squat. Okay. All right. So if I take this over here and I clear up, I can swatch these all out properly now. Make a little color chart. A proper little color chart. Yeah. I'm not gonna label this just yet. I'll go back and label right over the colors. But I'm going to swap my water and then I'm going to one by one swatch each of these colors.
I enjoy your little angry question marks.
The other red is Carmine Well, okay, no. So I do have the PR 171. Like, that is labeled. I do have that label. What I'm missing is
Question mark, question mark, question mark.
the rosy thing. So I do have a Carmine. That one's labeled. I have something that's rosier than the Carmine. Do we know what that is? Madder Lake Red Light PR 187. Okay, perfect. Great. I will label that now. So that's PR 187. PR 187. Madder Rose Lake Light. And we're guessing PO20 Cad Orange here. And then over here we have a neutral tint of some kind, yeah? Then I think that's all the mysteries solved.
More of an accidental magic trick than I expected.
Okay, PR 187, PB 15, K7. Perfect. Okay, perfect. PR 187, PB151 and PBK7 for the neutral tint. I am now just going to swatch all of these across a, let me just check that this will fit. Okay, because I'll just make boy, I'm leaving finger marks all over my paper here. Sort that out. I'll just make a little color chart. Some contamination here, but otherwise it's okay. And I'm just gonna try to do a little color chart that we can slide right into the package here so that whoever is using this next will know what they have available. And while I'm working on this, I have some other materials that I pulled out of the Magic Parents Art Studio. I have a fresh new package of Graphitint, a fresh new package of Inktense, a Scratchboard, and some Aqua Board. And so I was thinking I might do an extra stream maybe on Sunday. And I might use some of those. If somebody wants to request or suggest some materials for me to do an extra stream with, that would be awesome. Neutral tint is called black. Oh, cool. So, this isn't measured out or anything. It's going to be a little lopsided, this little swatch card I'm making, mostly because it should still be functional. And then I will label right onto the card itself what these things are. Hello, buddy. Are you offering me a ball? Come on, bring me the ball. Bring me the ball, Umber. So yeah. So then after this dries, I will write in all the names. Thank you for the detective work. Here, Mish. So then I'll have you a nice little insert for you that has all of the colors swatched out in the order that they're in.
Will that fit?
Yes. Yes, it will. And it'll have the names and the pigments, which, by the way, you did put some of the labels down. Not all of them. Some of them are just missing. But some of them you just put the back of the thing that has the name of the brand, but no name of the color or pigment
I tried
information.
to avoid that, actually.
Uh-huh.
I
I love you, even though you're a terrorist.
I swear an attempt was made.
You may feel free to rearrange them into a more pleasing arrangement. Although, please,
Yeah, I don't really consider these my watercolors anymore.
no?
I got them back at OCAD and have barely used them since.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason I left them here when I moved out and took only the set that you gave me.
Which had a nice label on it.
Correct. But also had only like 8 colors in it, which is a much more manageable number for me.
Yes, it is a much more manageable number. Let's get this.
I'm much more able to color mix than I am to keep track of 400 different pigments.
Well, you don't need to keep track of 400 different pigments, but it is helpful
And I
to.
don't usually really do either. I just, insofar as I ever use watercolor, it's like a wash of one bright color somewhere.
I see. Squeaky toys are great. Dante has a gingerbread man one for Christmas. Umber has right now, Umber's working on I think it's supposed to be a bowling pin. Belongs to my parents' dog. Nice rather. Bye, Paolo. Mariam, or Mariram. How do I pronounce your name? Mariam. Are you in my Discord chat? My Discord server? You might want to be. I might want you to be. Can somebody drop in a Discord link, please? Marina. Right. That would make sense. Not. Or not yet. Perfect. So I have a little Discord server where we nerd out pigments and other things. And harass siblings throughout the week. Except siblings that aren't in the Discord. Mars brown is like a brick. And also, I think I got too much red in it. But that, and then I have the black. Okay. I will label these later once it's dry and slide this into this package so that whoever uses this next has a nice reference. But now I have to go. It's quite late here. It was fun. Thanks for the stream. Bye bye. Yes, if somebody could drop in a Discord link. Lana? Is Lana still around? I'll drop a Discord link in the video description. Bye. Bye, Marina. I'll catch you hopefully in Discord. And if not, I'll be around next week or on Sunday. There we go. Thanks, Lana. Thank you. Perfect. Yeah, I think that's it for tonight. I have a dog who's requesting my attention. Bye-bye.